All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for the opportunity to speak here. Looking forward to telling everybody a little bit about what we're doing and kind of the thesis we're operating under here. So I'm here today representing the Bitcoin and AI working group. We are pushing ourselves to do 2-week sprint syncs to develop some really cool technology built on a lot of what we're seeing in the AI world with agents and other neat things too. So just to tell you a little bit about who we are and the type of person that is a good fit for this group. We believe that Bitcoin is the category winner of crypto. We believe that AI will use a currency with no intermediaries. And we believe that Bitcoin on L2 is the perfect fit. So we're working towards these goals and trying to enable a world where if we give an AI a wallet, what is it going to do? Accomplishments to date, we've actually gotten some really cool stuff done, and I'll kind of go over these one by one to give you an idea of where we're at. So to start out, we have a resource invoicing primitive in Clarity. So this resource contract allows a deployer to set up and say, these are the resources that I'm providing. It can also track payment for those invoices, which could be made by anybody with an address. So any address can pay for a resource. And it also tracks like recent payment data. So we can look back and say, hey, this person paid for this resource on this date. So what do we need a primitive like that for? Well, we're trying to think through what these future machine-to-machine interactions may look like. And we can imagine a world where AI agents will have different tools and services that eventually they'll want to charge or take a small piece for. So if you create a use case that's absolutely amazing, you have now created a monetary engine to develop something new. The first demonstration of how we can use this resource invoicing primitive in Clarity is an API example. So here you can see in the bottom screenshot, we have an API running that will check, hey, did you pay for that resource before you go to access it? And all it has to do in order to be able to check that and take a look is to connect to the Hero API, which we just heard about from Raphael, or to an API running on your own local Stacks node and verify that data on chain. So in the case of what you see below, no payment data was found, and we're exploring how to use the HTTP 402 response type as a way to say this invoice is required to be paid, or even better, this action needs to be taken on chain. So we're working towards a standard for how this type of interaction can come into services and how it can be used in that B2B or M2M type mindset. So we have the invoicing primitive, we have the API example, and we also have a crew of agents that are using a wallet. So now one of the bigger accomplishments here in the very early form that we can see is on the left-hand side, we're using a framework called Crew AI. For those who are not familiar, Crew AI is a framework that allows us to build the idea of tasks, which are one-off items the agent should complete. Agents themselves, who we get to define with a backstory, more information, their target goals, and what tools they have available. The tools themselves, which could be anything from operating on the file system to interacting with smart contracts. And then finally, a crew. So a crew are the agents that we want to work together to achieve our tasks. Using this framework, you can see in the early example here, we're already able to have an agent that can pull information from its own wallet and eventually is going to hook into those resource contracts and be able to pay invoices, as well as explore what else can be done on chain. If we extrapolate this idea out even further, there is a world where they could write their own contracts and deploy them too. Pretty much anything that's possible through stacks.js today, we want to start exploring and enabling for AI agents and creating a base tool set that anybody can innovate and build on top of. So what's coming next? If you were to join the working group today, some of the items on our agenda, we're looking at adding CIP18 verification for identification. So what this means is we want to implement signed messages. One of the powerful features of having a crypto wallet is being able to make that cryptographic signature that says, I am this wallet. While that might not link directly to identity in the sense that we're used to today, it does give you the ability to say, I am the deployer of this contract, or I am the person representing these funds. So this type of verification, this type of message signing is a key piece that we see as part of the protocol, and it's coming in some of the updates coming soon. We are also working towards connecting more wallet-based scripts to agents. So if you were to take a look at some of the scripts that we have available today, you'll see that we already have interactions for the invoice contract defined. We actually have deployed a copy of the ABTC token, we're calling it AI BTC, on testnet. And we're looking over how to have these agents possess funds, complete actions, and turning that into an easy to clone template for others to experiment with. So if any of that jumped out at you as something that sounds like it's really cool, or something you want to look more into, or if you want to join up and be a part of this movement, I highly encourage you to take a look at our working group meetings. We had one today. We'll have one starting next week at 8 a.m. in Pacific time. And we're also in the Stacks Discord. You can find our channel under Builders, AI Bitcoin Stacks. And we really look forward to gathering as many people as possible to really think through what we can do next.